If you only read the books that everyone else is reading, you can only think what everyone else is thinking. It's easy to forget things you don't need anymore. Memories warm you up from the inside, but they also tear you apart. I'm the kind of person who likes to be by himself. To put a finer point on it, I'm the type of person who doesn't find it painful to be alone. When your feelings build up and harden and die inside, then you're in big trouble. Learning another language is like becoming another person. Loving another person is a wonderful thing, and if that love is sincere, no one ends up tossed into a labyrinth. Sometimes it's not the people who change, it's the mask that falls off. Whenever I look at the ocean, I always want to talk to people, but when I'm talking to people, I always want to look at the ocean. Some things in life are too complicated to explain in any language. Two-thirds of Earth's surface is ocean, and all we can see with the naked eye is the surface. To keep on going, you have to keep up the rhythm. Everything passes. Nobody gets anything for keeps. And that's how we've got to live. No truth can cure the sorrow we feel from losing a loved one. No truth, no sincerity, no strength, no kindness can cure that sorrow. People leave strange little memories of themselves behind when they die. Only where there is disillusionment and depression and sorrow does happiness arise. Without the despair of loss, there is no hope. Rain softly falling on a vast sea, with no one there to see it. The rain strikes the surface of the sea, yet even the fish don't know it is raining. Two people can sleep in the same bed and still be alone when they close their eyes. You don't have to judge the whole world by your own standards. Not everybody is like you, you know. Whatever it is you're seeking won't come in the form you're expecting. Never let the darkness or negativity outside affect your inner self. Just wait until morning comes and the bright light will drown out the darkness. Life is so uncertain. You never know what could happen. Life is not like water. Things in life don't necessarily flow over the shortest possible route. I can be hurt, you know. I can get as exhausted as anybody else. I can feel so bad I want to cry, too. When you are used to the kind of life of never getting anything you want, you stop knowing what it is you want. Move from reason that observes to reason that acts. Where there is light, there must be shadow, and where there is shadow there must be light. There is no shadow without light and no light without shadow. No matter how honestly you open up to someone, there are still things you cannot reveal. We all have ordeals we must face. It's through them that we find a new direction in our lives. The more grueling the ordeal, the more it can help us down the road. Things outside you are projections of what's inside. What's inside is a projection of what's outside. In everybody's life there's a point of no return. And in a very few cases, a point where you can't go forward anymore. And when we reach that point, all we can do is quietly accept the fact. What seems threatening is just the echo of the fear in my own heart. Dreams come from the past, not from the future. Dreams shouldn't control you, you should control them. People are drawn deeper into tragedy not by their defects but by their virtues. Your work should be an act of love, not a marriage of convenience. You can hide memories, but you can't erase the history that produced them. Loneliness becomes an acid that eats away at you. The most important thing we learn at school is the fact that the most important things can't be learned at school. Deep rivers run quiet. Asking a question is embarrassing for a moment, but not asking is embarrassing for a lifetime. Spend your money on the things money can buy. Spend your time on the things money can't buy. Say it before you run out of time. Say it before it's too late. Say what you're feeling. Waiting is a mistake. So many dreams, so many disappointments, so many promises. And in the end, they all just vanish. Ordinary imperfect people always choose similarly imperfect people as friends. You need to grab whatever chance you have of happiness where you find it, and not worry about other people too much. My experience tells me that we get no more than 2 or 3 such chances in a lifetime, and if we let them go, we regret it for the rest of our lives. Pointless thinking is worse than no thinking at all. It seemed to me that this world has a serious shortage of both logic and kindness. People's memories are maybe the fuel they burn to stay alive. A gentleman is someone who does not what he wants to do, but what he should do. Once the storm is over, you won't remember how you made it through, how you managed to survive. You won't even be sure, in fact, whether the storm is really over. But one thing is certain. When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. That's what this storm's all about. If you can't understand it without an explanation, you can't understand it with an explanation. Unfortunately, the clock is ticking, the hours are going by. The past increases, the future recedes. Possibilities decreasing, regrets mounting. No matter how far you travel, you can never get away from yourself. If you remember me, then I don't care if everyone else forgets. You have to wait until tomorrow to find out what tomorrow will bring. I can bear any pain as long as it has meaning. In this world, there are things you can only do alone, and things you can only do with somebody else. It's important to combine the two in just the right amount. Here, too, a brand new day is beginning. It could be a day like all the others, or it could be a day remarkable enough in many ways to remain in the memory. In either case, for now, for most people, it is a blank sheet of paper. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Life is a lot more fragile than we think. So you should treat others in a way that leaves no regrets. Always remember that to argue and win is to break down the reality of the person you are arguing against. It is painful to lose your reality, so be kind, even if you are right. As time goes on, you'll understand. What lasts, lasts. What doesn't, doesn't. Time solves most things. And what time can't solve, you have to solve yourself. Everyone, deep in their hearts, is waiting for the end of the world to come. No matter what they wish for, no matter how far they go, people can never be anything but themselves. That's all. Friends don't need the intervention of a third party. Friendship's a voluntary thing. Emotional hurt is the price a person has to pay in order to be independent. Nobody likes being alone that much. I don't go out of my way to make friends, that's all. It just leads to disappointment. If you're in pitch blackness, all you can do is sit tight until your eyes get used to the dark. If you think of someone enough, you're sure to meet them again. It's pretty thin, the wall separating healthy confidence and unhealthy pride. What a terrible thing it is to wound someone you really care for and to do it so unconsciously. Anyone who falls in love is searching for the missing pieces of themselves. So anyone who's in love gets sad when they think of their lover. It's like stepping back inside a room you have fond memories of, one you haven't seen in a long time. Sometimes fate is like a small sandstorm that keeps changing directions. Now all you can do is wait. When it is time to wait, you must wait. People fall in love without reason, without even wanting to. You can't predict it. That's love. Such wounds to the heart will probably never heal. But we cannot simply sit and stare at our wounds forever. You can keep as quiet as you like, but one of these days somebody is going to find you. Nothing in the real world is as beautiful as the illusions of a person about to lose consciousness. As long as you have the courage to admit mistakes, things can be turned around. Wherever there's hope, there's a trial.